Rush again, here we go. Every weekend make a bomb. Our bass inside your soul and your mind get blown. Village Boys и диджей Блядман разрывают ваши хаты. Да нам просто пати, скажем вместе, сука, блядь. Сука, блядь. Блядь. Сука, блядь.
Hey guys, welcome back to Double Charlie. Today we're doing a review of the Arsenal SLR 107R, chambered in 7.62x39. Arsenal has no idea who we are, did not provide us this gun for review, came from a friend of the channel. Ammo was provided by Abe's Awesome Armaments. They are located on Route 104 in New Hampton, New Hampshire. A good sponsor for our channel, help us out with ammo so we can do lots of shooting, some cool footage, and tell you guys what we think about different guns. Specs on the Arsenal SLR 107R. It is a stamped receiver. Muzzle brake accepts any left-hand thread 14x1mm accessories. 16.5-inch hammer forged chrome-lined barrel. It has a side scope rail. SM13 low profile quick release rail mounts. 800-meter rear sight. Has a 2-stage trigger by Arsenal. Average muzzle velocity is 710 meters a second, or 2,329 feet per second. Average effective range is 500 meters. Maximum effective range, 1,350 meters. And the MSRP is $879.99. Some of the modifications made to this rifle include a M4 stock adapter, an RS Regulate rail with a primary armed 3X scope. It's a ACSS calibrated for 7.62x39. Magpul handguard, it's the MOE for the AK series. We've thrown a Gear PEC on the side to do some additional testing. And then up front we have a VG6 Epsilon muzzle brake. Alright, jump into some of the performance. So accuracy and range. With the addition of the 3X ACSS reticle, especially since it's calibrated for 7.60x39, it makes a big difference in getting those hits out at 300-400 yards. In the past, with some different ammo, we fortunately didn't get any footage of it, of course, right? We were able to make hits at about 550 with a similar setup, using a little bit better ammo. The Wolf tends to be some of the better stuff. The Wolf comes in a green camo box. But as far as general accuracy, 300 yards, no problems making reduced 8-inch circle hits. A little bit trickier with the iron sights.
Yeah.
But that's just inherent with iron sights versus a magnified optic. For me, one of the things I did notice shooting this was I needed to be more precise in taking the time to line up my shot than I feel like I need to be with an AR-15. That's likely due just to some inherent slightly less accurate than a typical AR-15, or maybe it's just my inexperience with the system, but I really needed to take that extra quarter second to make sure I was on the target as centered as possible before squeezing the trigger. What was your experience like?
Yeah, I think you said it best at the range earlier. It's like being in a fist fight. Having an AK, you feel like you're actually shooting a prehistoric gun compared to an AR-15, where it's just a pleasant little, boring rifle that you can shoot. As far as you said that, honestly, this is my first AK. Well, shooting an AK, so I don't have anything to compare it against. With this setup, I mean, we didn't have any trouble with the 300 yards, right. But like you said, if you want to take it out past that, you're gonna be working. We're gonna be working for it. I don't know if it's just because of the way that this one's set up because of our buddy or what.
I suspect it's a combination of it's zeroed for his eyes. We didn't really move his shift to zero around, as well as we were using Tula at the time, which tends to be a little bit weaker ammo, a little bit underpowered.
Yes.
Compared to some of the full mil-spec Wolf ammo.
Yeah, I mean the 300 hits were still good though. You know, still satisfying ring and steel. Primary arms obviously makes great optics. You know, the ACSS is great. You know, had no problem finding the dog, find the present. So, all right, let's move on to this beautiful AK trigger. Like I said, this is my first AK shooting an AK, so I don't have much to compare it up against except for an AR-15. I have plenty of experience shooting those. So compared to like a Geisley, yeah, it's a big difference. You have you have a heavier trigger pull. It's you know, like you said, when you're shooting out to distance, you have to be certain to make, you know, with your pull, you got to be straight back with it, because this thing will jump all around on you if you don't. You know, well, I guess that comes down to how you're holding it too.
So what is nice about this is Arsenal does include a 2-stage trigger. Comparing to other AKs I've fired, they tend to slap your finger on the trigger reset, and this doesn't have that. It was, for an AK, it was pretty pleasant and soft shooting, as far as trigger feel goes.
Yeah. I mean, I shooting it up close. You know, out the range today, it was great for up close work. I mean, working behind that barricade and coming up with it, there's no like, it's like a battle trigger, really. You know, it's a great combat trigger.
Check that one more time. Just, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, send it.
It's a clean break and a very defined wall, very defined reset. 2 millimeters from the break to the actual wall. It's very tactile.
It's a pull though.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than a 5-pound Geisley.
A little specking.
Yeah, very, very defined. So again, it does help make those hits out a little bit further. Having the ability to stage the trigger that way, come up to the wall, and know where the wall is each time. It's definitely a help.
Yeah, I didn't have any sort of like, you know, worries that I was going to accidentally fire it. You know, especially when you're running with it and you're, you know, like I said, coming up behind cover, like, and you're going on target. Sometimes with the Geisley, if you're not careful, you can absolutely send around.
Yep.
So, you know.
Then comparing that against something with a much heavier trigger like an M1 Garand, this is easy. It's a good trigger for an AK. So this being 7.62 by 39, it has a little bit more recoil than a typical AR-15. The BG6 Gamma muzzle brake definitely helps cut that down and tame it a little bit. I found for me that it did throw me left and right a little bit more than I'm used to. Still a very soft push to the rear, but as far as staying on target, it took me a little bit longer to get my sights back on.
Yeah. It's definitely not like shooting an AR. It's definitely a little bit, you know, more of a, you know, a little bit more of a punch. It's not as much.
It's not snappy, it's not twingy, it's a rolling push.
A rolling push. That's a great way to describe it. It's like a rolling push. It's like, yeah. I mean, and depending on how fast you're shooting it, you know, as long as you just lean into it and you gotta have a good stance, or you're shooting it over your head, it's gonna push you over. But yeah, no, it's not bad by any means. Don't get me wrong. It's completely manageable, but it's comparing it to an AR-15 for me. That's the only thing I have to compare it up against. So it's, you know, definitely going to be a little bit more, in my opinion. But the muzzle brake absolutely does keep you nice and flat. I had no problems. Hitting that steel in my first shot, bang.
Definitely. And that's something we're going to end up doing a lot in this review. Is we're going to compare it to an AR-15. That's primarily what we shoot. Shoot a lot of that. So, as typical gun tube fashion, we're just going to be comparing everything to an AR-15.
Yeah, until we keep on going and get a whole bunch more AKs to shoot.
So reliability-wise, we had no issues. No jams, no magazine feeding issues, no ammo issues. It ran. I don't think we had any issues at all, really.
How many different types? And we actually put like
5 different ammos through it.
Yeah. 3 just today.
Yeah, and we got it hot. We were running it hard. Plenty of heat, plenty of opportunities for it to fail. And that's one of those things people talk about AKs is typically the reliability. Some of those looser tolerances allow it to keep functioning when mud, grime, dirt gets in there. Depending on who you talk to, that's true or not. Either way, we had no issues running this gun.
Yeah, even up against the rocks. In the dust,
Yeah.
That's why they run forever in the desert, though. So it's really no surprise.
So, ergonomics on this movie. There's parts I like and parts I don't like. I do enjoy the pistol grip. It's got a good texture. It's that hardened rubber feel. It's finger grooves fit me well. They won't fit everyone great, but for me, they're good. Adjustable length of pull in a stock, nice feature. Mag pull handguards are always pretty good for an AK. I did struggle a bit getting the safety on and off. It's a little bit long for me to reach. You can get upgraded safeties with an additional little nub here to make it a lot easier to take it on and off safe. Other than that, it just took a few tries to learn how to come up and over or underneath the racket. Yeah. I think that's it for me for ergos.
Yeah, I'll take it. Listen, do some ergos. Yeah, some little gun thought ergos. For an AK, I did enjoy it. We threw the Soma gear on here just for today to see how it performed. I don't think I'd actually keep that on there just because it does disrupt a little bit of that grip that you can get on it. Obviously, it's probably not an ideal location for it, but who knows?
But we did quite a bit of long range shooting without, and some mag dumps without the Somo on there.
Right. Yeah, it's just you get a whole lot more.
Yeah.
A whole lot more grip, obviously.
Yeah, the Magpul MOE is comfortable to grip, but it is not an ideal solution for mounting multiple items like lights, lasers, and lambs.
Yeah, but for my first time shooting an AK, I think I've watched plenty of other YouTubers, so I had the over number pretty good. But definitely a shorter safety, 100%. Medium-sized man-hands are not, the ones to be using with that safety. If you could shorten that up, that'd be great. I had no problems with the mag release. Mag release was easy and quick to figure out. And
same thing with reloads. Takes a few tries to get the rocking it in correctly, but yeah, after 5-10 tries, you're solid. There's no issues reloading or charging the weapon.
Yeah, if I had to use it, if I had to pick this up, in one of those situations, I wouldn't have had any problems, getting it and getting it up quick.
Some of the things I really enjoyed about this rifle, mag pull hand grip, handguard, very easy, very smooth and nice, feels good in the hand. 3x primary arms optic really helped in making those hits out past 50 yards, all the way out to 300. And an adjustable length of pull stock with the recoil reducing pad was a nice feature, allowed me to get the right length of pull, the right eye box. Some of these 3x primary arms optics don't have the largest eye box, so you have to be up close, and a full length, fully extended stock would be a little bit too far for me to do so. Other pros for me, do I have other pros?
I mean,
Honestly, it's a gun that punches. Yeah, really the only other pro I think I can think of off the top of my head, it's just that 7.62x39 hits hard.
Yeah.
It's not really a pro of the gun so much as it's a pro of the caliber. It's a cheap ammo that packs a punch, and it's pretty much usable from anything from small game to medium game, two-legged game. It stops things pretty well.
yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'd say my biggest, or really only pro, about the AK system in general is that it eats everything that you feed it. You don't have to worry about feeding your gun only brass, or if it doesn't run steel, doesn't deserve brass or something like that. It went through all 5 ammo types that we gave it. We got this thing so hot, how many rounds did we shoot today? I don't even know how many rounds we shot today.
Over 700 rounds today.
It was a hot day too. That's why we ended up coming inside, because the phone was overheating. So the gun was definitely hot, and yeah, it's gonna eat everything. You don't have to worry about the cleanliness of it.
It's reliable.
It's a reliable system.
We did no cleaning, no lubricating.
Yep.
Just put a glove on and kept shooting.
It just kept running. So that's my pro.
Some of the things I had some difficulty with and didn't really like about this setup was actually, while it's great to have an adjustable stock, the height of it made it very difficult to use irons. So even with a red dot, I think it would still be quite difficult if you don't have this same height over bore that the primary arms provides.
Yeah.
Great for the primary arms, very difficult for irons, and I suspect it'd be difficult for a low profile red dot.
They're pretty much unusable, honestly.
Yeah, we were crushing our cheeks down pretty tight to try to even get through the irons with the stock all the way extended. One of the other things that I don't particularly like about the system, again, we mentioned, was the position of the safety selector. It's a long reach, and that might just be a symptom of the upgraded hand grip, pistol grip. But there are some aftermarket ones that can help alleviate that. It would be nice if it came stock it should really be stock on every AK. Last thing I really didn't like was the MOE hand grip, the handguard. It's great if you don't plan on mounting anything. They look good and they're durable, and they're not relatively expensive either. But if you wanted to add a light and a lamb and pressure pads, it's suddenly very difficult to do so.
They grip it if you have them on.
Yeah, that was the thing. It was once we added one accessory and pressure pad, it became quite difficult to find a good place to put our hands. Yeah,
I basically second all that for sure. Yeah, the iron sights without the optic definitely is impossible, really, at least for close engagements. I don't know if you could probably use it for some longer stuff, but I understand the setup and what everybody's going for. It absolutely makes sense in the way that it is configured, for sure. It would just be too bad if the optic went down and then you needed to use your irons, you wouldn't be able to. So we're just beating a dead horse on that.
Yeah, it's a fantastic setup for 100 to 350 yards.
Yeah, absolutely. I had so much fun shooting today, especially even just mag dumping into the berm. Getting some
good trigger time in.
Yeah, exactly. Learning the trigger and just seeing how fast we could shoot it, and you know, seeing how fast it would run and what it would run, and it ran everything and got hot, but that was expected, and yeah, it was definitely a fun time. Yeah.
Who is this gun for? Someone that doesn't want an AR. You know, it sounds cliche, but if you want an AK and this makes you happy and you want something that's not an AR-15, it's going to be great for you. It's got a great reputation. Hardware was pretty minimal. We didn't see anything that stuck out to us. Arsenal's a well-respected brand, so I think you couldn't really go wrong with an Arsenal SLR 107
Under $1,000 too.
if you want an AK.
Not a bad buy-in. So, one word description. What would you say about this?
If I had to describe this in one word, it's fist fight. It's fist fight hyphenated.
Okay, there you go.
I'm gonna hyphenate it. Fist fight. It is just a little bit more than, you know, an AR-15 feels surgical. This feels like you're in a bit of a mosh pit and you're kind of getting bounced around with it a little bit.
Belligerent.
That's a good word too.
It's belligerent.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, it's just, you know, it's not all over the place, but it's you know you're shooting a firearm. You know, you feel the power. You definitely feel the power.
Yep. I agree with that. So that wraps up our review. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Definitely helps us out.
Appreciate it.
Let us know what you want to see next.
If you want to see anything,
If you don't, tell us.
tell us to quit. Never.
Thanks, guys.